Okay, we are starting our end of year STEM project. And if you have been a part of third grade at Indian Creek, or if you have seen Indian Creek in the past, you know that our final project is Simple Machines, okay? So Simple Machines is going to be what you will be using to create a car. And yes, you will be participating in that car creation. And there will be a contest at the end of the year for whose car travels the farthest distance, okay? So be prepared for that. It's very exciting. I will let you know that my class, it has been several years since we've won, so I'm expecting this year for that to change. So let's get to it, kiddos. Now, in order for you to help create your cars, first of all, you have to understand all of the parts that are behind Simple Machines and what we mean when we say Simple Machines. So I'd like for us to watch this Brain Pop Junior video. I want you to find one thing that you did not know. You're going to share one thing that you did not know with your breakout room when this video is over, okay? One thing that you did not know. Here we go.
It looks like the lid is stuck. You need something to help you. A simple machine is a tool that makes work easier. Machines can have moving parts, but a simple machine has very few moving parts, or none at all. All machines use force to do work. Good question. What is a force? Well, a pull is a force, and a push is a force too. You use force to throw a ball. You also use force to catch a ball and stop it. Simple machines use and change force in different ways. What is a ramp? A ramp is a simple machine with a slanted surface. It can help you move things from lower to higher places. You use a lot of force to lift up a heavy load, but you can use less force to push it up a ramp. Ramps can be different lengths. Some can be steeper than others. It's harder to push things up a steeper ramp. What is a lever? A seesaw uses a lever, which is another type of simple machine. One kind of lever has a bar that rests on a point. The point is called a fulcrum, and that's where the lever turns. You can put a load on one end and use force on the other end to lift up the load. Levers can help you lift things more easily. A car jack is a lever, and a bottle opener is a lever too. A pair of scissors has two levers that work together. A hand truck works as a lever, and it has a wheel and axle. What is a wheel and axle? A wheel turns around a center rod called the axle. The wheel and axle is actually a lever that turns. Well, imagine a lever. The bar moves around and around the fulcrum. Wheels make work easier because they roll. They make things easier to push or pull. You can find wheels and axles in tons of places. What is a pulley? A pulley is another type of lever. You can use it to change direction of a force. Some pulleys use a rope and a wheel. You can pull down on the rope to lift the load up. You can find pulleys on blinds, flagpoles, and on clotheslines. When you add more pulleys, you can use less force to lift up a load. Some machines, like cranes, use many pulleys and other simple machines. A compound machine is a machine made up of different simple machines. I think you need a lever to open that can of paint, Moby.
Alrighty, I'm going to send you into a breakout room. I want you to share one thing that you learned. What is one new piece of information that you have now? Okay. Listen to your partner's new information. Share your new information. Here you go. I asked you in your breakout room to share one new piece of information that you gained from this video. What is something you learned about simple machines? What did you learn? What did you learn? Aiden G, I'm going to call on you because you were like, I'm done talking. So you must have had something to say.
So I learned that you can use different types of wheels for different types of force.
Perfect. Different types of wheels can help with different types of force. Wheels are going to be very helpful to you in your cars that you will be designing. So it's a good thing you focus on those. All right, what else did we learn about simple machines? Something that we learned. Thank you. What'd you learn about simple machines?
What I learned is that some machines have to be worked by hands, and some machines work by engines and stuff.
Perfect. They can be controlled by humans or by engines, and they help work become easier. Wonderful. What else did we learn about simple machines? Terrence.
Simple machinery can be motorized.
They can be motorized. Yes, they can. They can be motorized or they can be hand powered. What did we learn about simple machines? Justin, what did you learn about simple machines?
Oh,
Or something that your partner told you they learned?
about there's a lever
A lever. What about a lever?
that it can help you get through other problems.
Yeah, it can help you lift things easier. And actually, in your screen right now, Justin, I see a lever in behind your head. Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
What is it? The light switch. Yep, there you go. That lever right there is used to turn on and off the lights. So that lifting of power and closing of the circuit power is a lever. Fantastic, Justin. Great connection. Leah, what'd you learn?
So what are we gonna be building our car out of?
We will get there when we get there, my dear girl. First, we got to get the background knowledge.
So I learned about levers that a bunch of levers can help lift heavy things.
Yes, think about a seesaw. Okay, most of you it would not be super easy for you to just grab somebody and go and lift him up and then put him down and then go and lift him up and put him down over and over again. I'm not saying you couldn't do it. I'm sure that you could, but it would get very tiring. But y'all can seesaw all day, boop, 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 back and forth. Why? Because that lever is making the weight less. So simple machines help make difficult tasks or tasks that require a lot of effort easier. Great. Terrence, another connection?
Like my sister, she well, at school, you remember when there was a fire, the trash can was on fire?
Mm-hmm.
They used simple machinery.
They did. There was wheels and axles on that trash can that helped get it outside faster. So simple machines can help us in emergencies as well. Very good. All right, friends, now that we feel all warmed up, I want you to go ahead and get to your seesaw activity. Click on that light bulb. It is called Hard Work Made Easy, Simple Machines. We are actually going to be helping consider a solution to a problem that we have at Indian Creek right now, okay? Hard Work Made Easy, Simple Machines. Go ahead and click on your add response. When you click on your add response, you will hear the problem that we currently have at Indian Creek. I'm going to click play. You will notice in this photograph that this is indeed Indian Creek. There is our playground. Here is the mulch that has been delivered. And here is the problem that we need to help solve. Please listen.
Hey, third grade. Miss Henson, as you may have noticed, has bought a whole bunch of mulch to start a garden. That's why there's a very large pile of mulch by the playground. She has a problem. She has to move all of that mulch to the garden area before school lets out for the summer. She needs your help figuring out the best, easiest, and fastest way to move all that mulch so that the garden is ready for summer camp.
All right, so we have got to figure out how can we use simple machines to move all of this mulch into the garden area. That is our problem that we are solving today, okay? On slide 2, you will see several examples of different simple machines that we use on a daily basis, okay? Simple machines make work easier, but not all simple machines are going to be helpful for us with this problem. So,
one way that we can help make work a little bit easier and go a little bit faster is through the help of simple machines, because simple machines, well, it simply makes work easier. That's a true fact. What we're going to be thinking about today is how can we use simple machines to help Mrs. Henson move all of that mulch?
okay, so what types of simple machines can we use to help Miss Henson move the mulch, okay? We've already done slide 3. We've watched the video and thought about how simple machines make work a little bit easier. We're going to do some research now. Hop over to slide 4 for me, please. This says complete with a partner. Here is what you are going to do. I am going to read this text, okay? And you are going to highlight with your partner in a breakout room the purpose for each simple machine. So first we're going to focus on inclined planes. As I'm reading, I want you to highlight, why do we have inclined planes? Okay, what do inclined planes do? What is their purpose? And you're going to share that with your breakout room partner. Okay, so everybody hop on slide 4 with me. Hoppity hop, 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 right on over to slide 4. All right, and as I'm reading, I want you to highlight, why do we need inclined planes? What is their purpose? And you're going to share that highlighting with your breakout room partner, okay? All right, here we go. Simple machines. We use simple machines every day. They help us lift, pull, transport, and hold objects together. Without these very basic machines, our lives would be much harder. Amp up your ramp. Inclined planes. Imagine trying to carry a heavy box up a ladder. It would probably be difficult and perhaps even dangerous. But if you were to place a long sheet of plywood on the ladder and push the box up, it would take less effort and energy. You can see people using inclined planes or ramps all the time in their daily lives. Have you ever seen a delivery truck with a long ramp? The ramps help people load or unload products more easily. Have you ever seen a building with a ramp that leads to a door? This is an inclined plane for people using wheelchairs. A ladder leaning on a wall is an inclined plane. Stairs are slopes to make an inclined plane. The bottom of your bathtub is also an inclined plane because it is sloped to force water down the drain. All right, you're going to go to your breakout rooms. Screen sharing will be on. I want you to share what you will highlight as the purpose for inclined planes. Why do we need inclined planes? Go ahead and hop to slide 5, please. Slide 5. This has a focus question, okay? So this time you are going to discuss, how is a wedge like an inclined plane? How is it different? Hint, hint, that's also what you should highlight, okay? So as I'm reading, I want you to highlight how a wedge is like an inclined plane and how it is different from an inclined plane, okay? All right, here is a wedge. Take a look at the photograph. Look at this photograph. Get the wedge edge. What has at least one slanting side and ends in a sharp edge? A wedge. A wedge is similar, hint, 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 to a ramp, but, hint, 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 instead of moving an object from here to there, it pushes it apart. Dun, dun, dun. The narrower the wedge is, the easier it is to divide something. Wedges can be sharp like axes, knives, or shovels. They can also be round like the tip of a nail or the tines of a fork. Just imagine how difficult it would be to eat dinner without the help of knives and forks to cut and pick up your food. All right, you're going to go share with your breakout room. How is a wedge like an inclined plane? How is it different? Okay, make sure you and your partners are highlighting your answers. And here you go. There's no similarities, William. Are you sure? Because right here, I see this nice word that says similar.
But there's no similarity, it just says similar to a ramp.
Really? Really? So right here, when it says that it has at least one slanting edge, and in the last text, when it talked about how these are at a slant, that's not similar? Are you sure? I don't know if I agree with you, William. Love you. All right, friends, let's hop to slide 6, please. For slide 6, we're going to break this into 2 parts, okay? Right now, we're going to focus on a screw. That's going to be our first part. Our second part is going to be a clever lever. But right now, we're going to focus on just the screw, okay? For the screw, there is no focus question, so I want you to go back to what we did originally. I want you to highlight what is a screw and why do we use it. Okay, so what does a screw do? Okay, let's read. Simply screwy. Even a basic screw is a simple machine. A screw is made of 2 simple machines combined together. An inclined plane is wrapped around a wedge to form a screw. So let's label that. Right here, we have the wedge down here, this part that comes to a point. This is the wedge. I want you to label this with me. It is a wedge because as you are putting the screw into the wall or the piece that you're holding together, it is splitting apart that wall to form a position for it, okay? So a screw separates the sides of the object that it is holding together. That is the wedge, okay? The inclined plane are what we call the threads. See these? These are at a slight slant, and it is that inclined plane that twists into the wall to hold everything together. So I'm actually going to do a text box for this so that I can turn it on its side. Inclined plane, not a planty, a plane. An inclined plane. So a screw is made of 2 different simple machines put together. The tip of it is that wedge that's going to push apart what it's holding together. The inclined plane is what twists around the wedge to keep things tight. Okay. All right, so again, let's keep reading. You are going to highlight what is a screw and why do we use it, okay? Why do we use it? Here we go. An inclined plane is wrapped around a wedge to form a screw. This wrapped inclined plane is called a thread. When the thread of a screw is wide, it will be harder to turn. If it is narrow, it will be easier to turn, but will take longer to fasten. Jars, bottles, and their lids are also considered screws. Drill bits are screws too. Okay? All right, so I'm going to send you to your breakout rooms. What is a simple machine and why do we use it? Or not a simple machine, a screw. What is a screw and why do we use it? Okay? Remember, I'm going to be taking a little grade on what you're highlighting together, so make sure you're sharing your ideas together. Here you go. Okay, with your partner, you should have highlighted what a screw is and why we use it. We're getting ready to do the same for a clever lever, okay? So now we're gonna look at lever right here, the second set of information here. What is a lever and why do we use it? Here we go. Levers are able to help us, hint, hint, lift heavy objects. It's easy to recognize a lever. Many tools with a handle attached are considered one. Here's a nice photograph of a lever. A hammer. The edge of the hammer that pulls a nail out is a lever. Levers consist of a stick and a fulcrum. This is how you pronounce fulcrum. Fulcrum. The fulcrum is the point on which the lever moves. By changing the position of the fulcrum, you will either gain or lose power. The closer the fulcrum is to the object, the easier it is to lift. Seesaws, shovels, and crowbars are all levers. Okay, I want you to go back into your breakout room and share what is a lever and why do we use them. Okay, what is a lever? Why do we use them? See ya. Goobers. All right, pop quiz. Dun, dun, dun. What type of simple machine is found on a water bottle cap? Here is a water bottle cap. Here is what I am going to do. Twist, 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 lift. Look, it's hard to see. Look on the inside. Watch what I have to do to put it back on. Twist, twist, twist. Which
You're cheating.
machine do we use when we use a water bottle cap? Let's see it, friends. Let's see some votes. Hands raised if you think it is a lever. Yes, it's not a lever. Good. Hands raised if you think it is a pulley. Good. We are not pulling on a water bottle cap. Hands raised if you think it is a wheel and axle. All right, couple votes. Hands raised if you think it is a screw. Majority wins, ladies and gentlemen. This is a screw. A wheel and axle. This does operate as a wheel in that you turn it, but an axle is a single point, not my son, you gremlins. An axle is a single point around which the wheel rotates, okay? So it would have to have a fixed location that wouldn't let the cap move. Now see, look. I can move this cap. Do, 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 do. I can put it anywhere. I can also take it and go do, 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 okay? So this is not fixed. It does not have an exact location that it has to stay, okay? That's what the axle does. So a water bottle cap is a screw. Look at that. You're using simple machines every time you take a drink of water. How about that? All right. Who is unmuted right now? It's you. Okay. Let's take a look at slide 8. Slide 8 says the wheel deal. You are going to do the same thing with your partner on this activity or on this section. I want you to highlight what is a wheel and why do we use them. Okay, here we go. The wheel deal. The wheel and axle is one of the oldest simple machines around. In fact, a wheel was found dating back 5,500 years. That's a very old wheel. A true simple wheel and axle machine consists of a rod, which is an axle, secured to a wheel. A water faucet has a wheel and axle on it. The knob that you turn is the wheel. When you turn the knob, you are also turning an axle that it is attached to. A fan is another example of a wheel and axle. The fan blades are the wheel, and they are attached to a rod, which is the axle. So these spin as the wheel. The axle appears right here in the center and keeps the fan blades in place so they don't go fly off and hit you in the face, okay? When the motor is turned on, the fan blades will spin and produce a nice cooling breeze on a hot day. Okay, you're gonna go with your partners. You're gonna highlight what is a wheel and how do you use it? What is a wheel and how do you use it? Okay, I like this next section because it sounds like a game show. Pull that pulley. I don't know, it's just goofy. Okay, slide 9, please. Pull that pulley. Again, we're going to read this. I want you highlighting with your partners what is a pulley and why do we use it, okay? Pull that pulley. A pulley starts with a wheel containing a groove running around it. So you can see the wheel right here, and then here's the groove. Okay, you can see it on this diagram here. This is a wheel, and our groove kind of goes around the outer edge. Add an axle and a rope or cable. Put them together, and you have a pulley. When you work with a pulley, lifting becomes a cinch. Why? The rope on each side of the pulley supports half of the entire weight of the object being lifted. With one pulley, you only need to use half the force required to lift the object. Imagine raising a flag to the top of a pole without a pulley. How would you do it? You could take a ladder and climb to the top and fasten the flag. You could use a ramp and push it to the top. The easiest way would be to simply attach it to a pulley and hoist away. Letting pulleys do the job is safe, simple, and fun. Alrighty, with your breakout rooms, what is a pulley and why do we use it? Go highlight, friends. Alrighty, with your partners, you should have highlighted the purpose of a pulley and what it is. We're going to take a look at the questions on slide 10 together, just to highlight some more real-life examples of simple machines. If you would, hop to slide 10, please. Okay. Slide 10 has 3 questions, the first of which says, on which type of simple machines would you find a fulcrum? Well, let's go back and look at our text to see which one talks about a fulcrum. Not an inclined plane, not an edge, not a screw. Look, there's that fancy word, fulcrum, okay? So a fulcrum is on a lever. A fulcrum is on a lever, all right? So let's hop back to slide 10. On which type of simple machine would you find a fulcrum? A fulcrum is on a lever. Fulcrum is a word that I'm going to say a lot because it is the word that every single 3rd grader every single year says, what's a fulcrum? What? A fulcrum? What are you talking about? Fulcrum. So I'm going to keep saying it. A fulcrum is on a lever, okay? A fulcrum is on a lever. The fulcrum is the point on which the lever rests, okay? A fulcrum is on a lever. The next one, which is an example of a wheel and axle? You might remember on the slide that talks about a wheel and axle, dun, 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 we have a picture of a water faucet. We have a picture of a fan. We have a picture of a wheelbarrow with the wheel on it. So, which of these are examples of wheels and axles? A shovel? No. A water faucet knob? Yes. The wheel is the knob itself, and the axle is the contraption inside that controls the flow of the water that gets turned. So a water faucet knob is an example of a wheel and axle. Seesaws and crowbars do not have wheels. Pretty simple to solve there, friends. And finally, what type of simple machine is shown in the picture to the right? Let's use process of elimination. An inclined plane. Well, I'm going to look back up here. Inclined plane, that looks a lot like a slide. Look at that, a ramp. So possibly, let's double check, a pulley. Nope, there's nothing to pull on a slide. A wheel and axle, nope, there's no wheel on a slide. And a wedge, a wedge. It looks kind of like a wedge. See, but wait, a wedge is to split something apart. It pushes it apart. A slide does not do that. So alas, a slide is an inclined plane. So you guys have been playing on inclined planes for a very long time. Simple machines. All right, friends. That takes us to our independent work. I'm very excited for your independent work. This is like literally my favorite video of every single third grader every year. Every year that I show this, they're like, can we watch it again? So the good news is you're virtual. You can watch it however many times you want. You today are going to watch this independent video. You are going to listen for real life examples of simple machines. You are going to record what you hear on the next slide. So you're going to watch this episode. This is an episode of a show. And then on slide 12, you're going to write down 3 real life examples of simple machines that people use every day, kind of like we did already in our work. Water faucets, slides, shovels, okay? But you're going to find some from the video, all right? You are going to explain how they make work easier. On slide 13, there is a review of Miss Henson's problem. Remember, we talked about all these simple machines because you need to tell Miss Henson how to move that mulch. What simple machines can help her? So you're going to finish that letter, okay? So you're going to finish your research, watch the video, find examples of simple machines, and then tell Miss Henson your idea to help her solve her problem of moving the mulch.